Okay, so welcome to tonight's OPTAVIA Connect training. This is just a quick rundown. I want you guys to feel really empowered when you're using your back office software, that you can really utilize all the tools that you have here, because there's more power in what you have in your fingertips right here than you probably actually realize. So we're going to start right here at Brenda Roth's home screen. When you open up your home screen, you should see what your current rank is as of right now. Today, on December 5th, gosh, Brenda is rocking it. She's already senior coach for the month. That means that over here, you can see that she has $1,200 in frontline volume and five clients on board. And you can see right here, her current frontline volume is 1,229, and she has 10 ordering entities, so that's a solid senior coach. And her group volume is already at $3,500, so that's wonderful. You can see her ordering entities, you can see her qualifying points right here, and then once you really start developing your teams, and you can start to see when senior coaches are coming up, when executive director teams are developing, etc. Another really nice feature is right here on the right. You'll see all of your team's activities. So whether you're a brand new coach and you just have your own orders coming through, your own clients' orders coming through, or you are a coach that has coaches underneath you that are starting to develop, you can really watch and see what's happening. So if we scroll down here, we can see that Rachel, who's on tonight, congratulations, you're on track to hit senior coach. Sarah Roth is on track to hit senior coach. And Brenda is on track to hit her integrated executive directorship. So that's awesome. Congratulations. And she can just sort of scroll through here and see what's happened since the 1st of December. So these are all kind of like your whole activities kind of in a snapshot in the last couple of days right there. Do we have any questions with this screen right here? Good. Okay. We're going to move on to Engage. When you hover over the top of Engage, this actually just brings up a huge platform of tools for yourself. The first and foremost right here is your performance, your volumes, your career, where you are in recognition, whether or not Brenda has qualified for ILAT, and any of her activities. So if you click on Engage, you will start to see all of the pieces of her business sort of come to life. Hey, it looks like they paid out bonuses today, huh? Okay, so you can also, coming over here, you can also start to see what her frontline volume has looked like over the past 6 months. You can take a look at personal volume, there's her group volume, there's her her senior coach teams, and then this will be, and soon, Brenda will be developing executive coach teams, and she'll be running up the ladder to FIBC and FIBL. So you can kind of see that she's, you know, she has senior coach teams right now, and her next step is develop one of those senior coaches into executive director, so she can have a 1 in the box right here. She also can see under Engage who on her team is close to rank. So this is another piece right here that you guys, I really like to watch, particularly in the last 5 days of the month. It's important to me, like I start looking at that at the 15th of the month, but you guys might want to be looking at that at like the 5th of the month. This is where, you know, hey, you've got a team of someone who's close to rank. And for you guys, you're really going to be watching this right here. These coaches that are close to senior coach. Why? Because we want our coaches to win, right? If there's something we can do to help them, you guys, they probably don't know that they're so close to senior coach. They may not know what that means for them. They may not understand that that's a pay increase for them, or they might be close to their cab. And so you guys as leaders are really responsible for watching this close to senior coach piece, because when they win and you help them get wins, then you win, right? So our efforts, the way I run my team is, well, and the whole philosophy of OPTAVIA is that absolutely we put our energies into our coaches, because when they win, you win. So it's not about us, it's about them. So we want you to be looking at right here where you can really see where they're close to rank. You can see, you know, we've got close to consistency, anybody who might be in need of certification, someone who might be working on their cab. These are all things that you guys should kind of be exploring about your team. Here, this is a really cool view. I like this view. you can really start to see this is Brenda's team right here. But if you start to click on these little green buttons, you can see that Christy has a coach, and Kylie has a coach, and Rachel has a coach. So you can start to see how her tree develops, and then as that starts to get bigger and bigger, then you can really, really sort of hone in onto your level 3 and level 4 coaches and where you want to help in deeper into your organization. Okay, I want to spend a little bit of time here on share. Because many of you probably don't use, is there anybody on here that uses OPTAVIA Share? I'm guessing probably not. Okay.
I did it a couple times.
Yay, good. Okay, awesome. So the biggest, probably the best place to use OPTAVIA Share is to just get your weekly newsletter out. And that happens right here by clicking on newsletter. And Brenda, you're on here. Do you mind if I walk through the process of what it would take for you to move your contacts over to Share and then send out a week 1 newsletter or a newsletter for you? Do you mind? Is she on still? I don't see her. Oh, somebody raised.
That's fine, because you know how challenged I am with technology. So
okay,
yeah,
all right,
sure.
So I'm going to go back over here to OPTAVIA Connect, and I am going to engage, and I am going to go to define your own report. Okay, so I'm going to click on orders. Actually, if I do accounts, to think about this. Okay, I'm going to go coaches and clients. So this is all, I'm going to go level 2 so that you have level 1 and level 2 accounts, everything today, coaches and clients, and then run this report. And you guys, I run this report on a weekly basis when I go ahead and move, and I just update my contacts over into Share, because as you guys are adding clients, I try to make sure that everybody gets a, basically everybody gets a report. So you'll see we've got like 128 items in here. So she's got 128 coaches and clients in her organization. And I'm going to click on this button right here, send a message center. And we're going to call this Brenda's Coaches and Clients. Okay, save and go to Share. Fabulous. Okay, now we're going to go, I'm just going to take a peek in contacts here and just make sure it's there. Right here. Okay, so if you look right here, you see 2018, December 5th, Brenda's Coaches and Clients. So it automatically gives it a date. So now let's just go back to the library. Now I'm going to go to newsletters. Right here, I'm going to grab December's week 1 newsletter. And I think I have to move you guys. Okay, I'm going to click on this button right here that says Get Started. Brenda, I'm just going to call this December 1, actually December 5th newsletter for you. Now what this is going to do is bring up your newsletter, and we'll call this the OPTAVIA Healthy Habits newsletter from Brenda Roth. Okay, and over here you can see that these are all the sections that are available in this newsletter, and you can literally just like, I don't like that holiday season resolution, I'm going to take that off, and it will disappear, and then you can put it back on. You can also move these things around a little bit, so maybe you want to put holiday stress second and the webinar third, so it's a little bit deeper into the newsletter. And then as you start to scroll through here, if you see a green little check mark, you can click on that and you can change the image. So you might want that image or the family image. Now Brenda, I'm just gonna stay with the family image because that's really nice. And it pops in. Okay, so now we have Beat the Holiday Stress. So we have an article about holiday stress. I might want to check in and see if I like a different photo here. Oh, Cozy Fire. Oh, family. I like family. We'll do family. Is that okay, Brenda? You can change this if you want. Then this is the webinar. You can choose to click the webinar off if you want, or you can keep it on. I actually like to invite all my clients to the webinar, so I keep this in on all my newsletters. And then it has a recipe, and then of course a success story. So maybe we might want to take
How did you pull something off?
How did I pull something off? Oh, right here. Let's say I want to take the webinar off. I just uncheck it over on the left side.
Ah, okay. Thank you.
And now it's gone. Make sense? And now I'll put it back in. But I might put it in between holiday stress and the journey to success. So now I've reordered it. I've created some different images. And so it does, so yours might look different than mine, right? Because we just have, now this is what your newsletter looks like. Okay? So now that you've sort of created your newsletter, what you're going to do is come over here and you'll see Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter. This is a link. This is LinkedIn, and then email. What I like to do is just click on the email button. And this is going to pull up kind of where you pull in your newsletter from. So we do add from address book right here. And then I go to the top over here and grab my groups on the top right-hand side up here. And now I can grab Brenda's coaches and clients. And then I just say add selected. And now it's loaded all of that. And so down here at the bottom, you can see I can either send it now or I can schedule to send it. Brenda, what would you like me to do?
Go ahead and send it.
Okay, so send now. Now it says, sending this email will prevent you from making any additional edits to this copy. Are you sure you want to send this email? And then any content email or distributed via OPTAVIA shares for individuals who have requested the information and is not for an unsolicited mass email. So don't go throwing a bunch of people's emails addresses in here. These are for your clients. These are for people who you're working directly with, and quite appropriate for that. Make sense? Okay, send now. Okay, Brenda, your newsletter has been sent, my dear.
Awesome. So now next week.
Now next week you know how to do it.
I'll have to figure it out myself.
There we go. So there you go. So there
Thank
is.
God this is recorded.
Yeah, it's recorded. There's also recognition. It is another great place for you guys to go and look. Under recognition, if anytime you have a senior coach, you might want to grab this senior coach email and just celebrate someone going senior coach. It's an advancement. If you have somebody who is going executive director, it's a great way to recognize someone. There's special occasions. Let's see what OPTAVIA, I don't know what OPTAVIA Premier Order means. But you can go play around in here. Here's new fuelings and snacks. You can also see there's some social media stuff in here that you can grab that you can use on your social media. Purposeful hydration, all sorts of good stuff that you can use and play around with. So get creative and enjoy using your OPTAVIA share. Do we have any questions in OPTAVIA share before we go back to connect? No. Okay.
Oh, can you show an example of like purposeful hydration? So you just click on that.
So yep, so you can click on this. Now you probably will want to have somebody in mind for this. So maybe get started, and we'll just call this PH. We won't send anything, Brenda. So this is this says about Purposeful Hydration Kit. So good afternoon. I wanted to share the new Purposeful Hydration Kit that'll be launched today. So this was obviously something that came out, but it has a green check. So let's check on the green check and see what it offers. Oh, you get to edit this section by clicking on the green check. So you might want to say, good afternoon, Sarah, right? Because you have somebody specific in mind. As we discussed, I wanted to share the new Purposeful Hydration Kit with you, and then take out that is going to be launched today. I think you'll love it. It makes healthy hydration. And you might even say, and if you wanted to order that today, you know, whatever, if you're helping someone get to senior coach, you might want to offer a scholarship through Purposeful Hydration or something like that. So then you can see here. Now, Brenda, if you go into your OPTAVIA share and you update, you'll actually have a photo here of you too that will be right here next to the fact that you're an OPTAVIA coach. And you can also update your website right here as well and add your phone number, and I can actually share with you how to do that. Does that answer your question, Dawn? Yeah, okay. Close this out. Okay, Brenda Roth, up here. See right here, Brenda, where it says profile to the top right. You can actually update all of this information right here to add your phone number. You can add your brendaroth.optavia.com. There's your email address. And then right here, Brenda, you can add a photo of yourself. Maybe one of the photos that we took from Intentionality Summit that you love. And you add that right here, then that will be kind of down that masthead part, but it's more like at the bottom, a masthead on the bottom. Does that make sense? Okay. Super duper. Okay, close this out. Bam. Okay, so that's how we play an OPTAVIA share. If you have any questions, let me know. Again, this is recorded, but remember that you kind of get it all right here from defining your report, and you just send it straight to the message center right here. Okay, so that is under Engage, Reporting, and Define Your Own Report. Okay, so lots of good stuff in Engage. You can check, they'll update this, from Intentionality Summit here soon. We talked about share. Okay, client support. At the top of the month, I always ask all of my coaches, so what is your projected OPTAVIA report? So client support, projected OPTAVIA Premier order. This is important because this tells you what you have left in your group volume, okay? So if you're trying to you're in your map, you're trying to actually figure out what you have left in group volume, there's that number right there. So she's gonna add basically what she has right now in group volume with this 18,000, and that is her projected group volume order. Now, if we just click on just client support, then she can see what her projected frontline volume is for the month of December, and that's right here. It's 10,300. Okay? So then she can say, well, my goal was 11,000, so I have to at least maintain this, plus add 3 more clients or 2 more clients in that, and then I'm at 11,000. So this helps you understand where you have to go to get to your goal, or if you're tracking way ahead of goal, or you're tracking way behind, because a lot of people this time of the year, people are pushing their orders out. Totally normal, by the way. And then all of a sudden, every single one of them start up in January again. So this number could bounce to 13,000 like that in January for her. So keep an eye on this projected frontline volume. This is really important. And then you also have something to compare it against from last month. Okay, so that's under client support. Now, learn. I love this section of OPTAVIA support, of their OPTAVIA Learn. This is fantastic. So Brenda, it automatically takes her exactly to the rank that she is at. She is an executive director. She probably feels comfortable with supporting new coaches. She's tracking and reviewing the progress of her map, and she's elevating her relationships with candidates, clients, and coaches throughout the network. So if she says, let's get started, then she gets all this training above and beyond what's going on our team or in our mentorship team. So that doesn't matter who your coach is. It doesn't matter how engaged they are. A coach always has an opportunity to learn and on their own time, right? So I always tell all my new coaches, really go in and dive in to learn, especially if they're kind of like, I don't want to say not team players, but they're kind of rebels without a cause, i.e. kind of someone like me. I really fell in love with OPTAVIA Learn because I was just able to kind of watch videos on my own time. And really, they're not very long. They're probably all between 2 and 10 minutes long. So something that you can just go through on your own time and feel like you can really get caught up relatively quickly. You can also go ahead and take a look at this by rank. This is important because as you start to move through, you can see now she's actually integrated executive director. And so she's going to kind of start, you can see they started to add in the habits of transformational leadership here, and that's really important. So actually they have this confused. It says regional director, this is integrated executive director, but that's okay. We won't beat them up. So, Brenda, you asked a question the other night that I thought was really good. You asked the question, what's the difference between integrated and rank? So once you get to executive director, so you can see new coach, senior coach, manager, associate director, director, executive director. Those are all the ranks of a health coach. If you go beyond these ranks, then you have stepped into the leadership role of OPTAVIA. So in that leadership role includes integrated executive director, and actually the integrated piece just means that you have 5 senior coaches and you're developing a team. So being integrated is its own track, and then having rank is its own track. So you can see you can be an executive director and not integrated, or you could be a regional director and not integrated. But if you're integrated and you're a regional director, then you're on both tracks. So it depends on kind of where you're going and what your long-term plans are for your business to really decide like where you want to go next. And if you have questions about where you go next, you would just like reach up to your mentorship team and ask them. Okay. News. So news is really just where you go to look about, this is conventions, you know, this is any sort of the product updates that they do, holiday hours for the store, anything like that. There's so many things that go on in here that you can just go back and check in. Recognition. So when you hit recognition, on your 3rd month of hitting recognition, you'll see this in here. Here's the Global Health Ambassador Club for when we go to Hong Kong and Singapore. Here's the Knowledge Checks Achievers, Coach Certification. The events coming up for us is going to be the ILAT and convention in July, which all of you should be going to. Community support. So here's where you guys can find those Monday Night Habits of Health calls, right here in news. So if you click on this, you'll start to find all of the most recent Habits of Health calls that are with Dr. A on Monday nights. Okay, any other question in this section of OPTAVIA? That's news. So then we have events, we have calendar of events, OPTAVIA convention, anything you need to know there. If you have clients who are already signing up, you can see that in convention report. Under resources, here's the Coach Monday webinar, so you can find that there. And then this is also really a cool little tool that you can find in OPTAVIA Connect called the Earnings Estimator. And basically this helps you kind of figure out where you want to be. So let's say your monthly goal is that you've decided you want to earn about $3,500 to $4,000 a month. Well, this might be what your organization needs to look like to do that. Or it could be that if you want to play around with what it looks like to kind of develop an organization. So this would be Brenda right now, actually. She's an executive director and she has 5 senior coach teams, okay? So this is pretty much what her business looks like right now. So play around with this. You know, you can come in, it's not an exact science because no organization is the same. But really, it's a kind of a great way to play around with some numbers. I mean, how would you guys like to have a $68,800 a month income? But that's what your organization would look like, or something like that if you did. Okay, OPTAVIA Pay, you guys all know how to do that, I'm assuming. This is managing your site, and this goes back to your account. That's really the nooks and crannies of OPTAVIA Connect. So if we have any questions, you may want to hop off and ask some questions, and I can help you through. Anybody?
Yes, me. So here's a question for you, Leah.
Yeah.
And Dawn knows too, because I struggle with it. So if I'm on my iPad, I don't get when I'm in my OPTAVIA Connect, I don't get engaged. I don't get client support. I don't get the learn. Let's see. I don't think events is on there. Like I'm missing half of it. And then if I'm on my laptop, we were trying to play around with the other day, and she was trying to show me how to do run some stuff.
Mhm.
It wouldn't let me run anything.
So what browser are you using?
That I don't know.
Okay.
So
OPTAVIA Connect runs best in Google Chrome and Firefox. I use Google Chrome, but when we were having problems with OPTAVIA Connect, they were updating the whole system. I did move over to Firefox for a little bit until I could get Google Chrome to start working again. And then I moved back over to Google Chrome. It loves Google Chrome. So if internet, the IE Explorer browser, it doesn't love Explorer. So download Chrome or Firefox, and hopefully that resolves your problem.
Okay.
If not, then let me know. I'll try and help out.
Okay, cool.
Cool. Anybody else? Oh, Dawn, I can't hear you. Oh, hang on.
When do you think the recording's going to be out? Because I think I'm going to have to go through it again.
Oh, no, I'll just send it to recording now, and then I can throw it up to our it takes about an hour or so. I'm going to go to dinner and go get some groceries. Maybe when I get back, it'll be ready.
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe tonight, tomorrow morning.
Well, it's a lot less complicated than I thought.
Well, that's good.
I mean, it just seems like there's so much, and then I would play around with it and be like, ah!
Yeah. So do you have any questions, like things that are like bugging you or you wish you kind of understood?
Not at the moment. That was good.
Okay, good. See, we breezed through that in 30 minutes. That's what I was hoping to do. Bam. All right, I'm going to hit stop record so that if we have any, let's see.